then I realized the first couple of seconds you can't hear me. Yeah, still. I'm just gonna wait. I'm looking at my live streaming on my phone and it's not starting yet. Let me know if you can hear me. La 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 la. Can you guys hear me? Maybe not. Maybe not yet. What? What's happening? Oh, I think it's starting. Ooh, oh yay, 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 yay. And now I have a commercial. Ooh. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, here we go. Yay, hey. Cool, cool, cool. I'm starting getting the comments as well. Oh, you know what? I was like, why is it so dark? I forgot to turn on the light. Lights on. Is it different? Oh, that's a lot different. Sorry, it's all a mess. I had a little time today. Hey Erin. So usually I come home and then I feed my dog. Did I feed my dog on Saturdays? Maybe. And then basically I come upstairs and then I set up the lights and everything, and then I start live streaming, and so everything's like go 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 go. But today I didn't have a particular English class, so I came home a little bit early, and so I had a little time before the live streaming, so I was like, hey, you know, I'm just gonna put on some sweatshirt and then be more comfortable. And then my cat is here. She's a loud one, so she might be she might be meowing through, so sorry if that happens. I think she's visiting my brother next room. But hi everyone. Hi. You wanna see my cat? Let's see. If I bring her here and then she might come back, because there is no door in this room. Mago-chan. Hi. Oh god. She's a little chubby one. Here we go. Say something. Say something. Say something. Thank you. Thank you. She is, how old are you? She's like 12, 11, 12, something like that. 11, 12, 13? I'm not sure. She's not that young. She's pretty old. Nyang, nyang, nyang. She's the most friendly one in my house. I have, how many? I have 4 cats. And the oldest one is like 18. So every time I'm on the phone and she hears my voice from somewhere, and then she runs upstairs and then she start meowing. Yeah, my oldest cat is like 18. She's still fine. Like, she is suffering from a little bit of illness because of her age, but she basically is as healthy as like 18-year-old cat can be. So yeah. And then this is the 3rd cat. So I have 18, maybe like 16 or 15, and then this is like 14 or 13, something like that. Yeah. So all my pets are kind of old. Yeah, she's really talkative. She can talk all day long. And she's kind of loud too. And so her best friend is my youngest brother. So, yeah. Say bye. Bye. Here we go. She might come back though. Well, but actually, the cutest cats that we have are the first one, and then like oldest cat, and the youngest cat. Yeah, they're the cutest. She has an interesting color though. It's kind of funny because like as soon as I showed my cat, the viewership went up over 20, and then as soon as I dropped her off in the next room, the viewership dropped. So I guess everyone loves cats. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to catch up on some words but comments, but all of them are about the cat. Oh, Alexander, I visited Matsuyama in early January 2020. I love the city. Cool. How come you picked Matsuyama? That's a weird place to visit. I mean, it's a great place, but no one knows about Matsuyama. I had a one person long time ago came up to me. He's from Germany, I think. And then he's like, well, he didn't think that I was there. And then he was like, "You're Sherry." He was like, "What?" And then back then I didn't have that many subscribers back then, right? And then he was like, "You're the reason why I'm here." I was like, "What? You're creepy." And then he was like, "Okay, so I'm an exchange student and I'm from Germany and I was going to study abroad in Japan. And when I was talking to the agency, I could go to Tokyo or I could come to Matsuyama, and then uh, and then because a city in Germany and the city in Ehime, not Matsuyama, I think, city in Ehime are sister cities, and so the agency offers a scholarship if he chose to come to Matsuyama. And then he was like, "Oh, I want that money," and so he started to Google. And because I'm basically the only one person who introduced Matsuyama or Ehime or Shikoku even in English on YouTube, and so every videos that he came across was my videos. And then he was like, "Oh, if the city looks like this, and if people are like that," and then like, "Oh, I can totally come down to Matsuyama and then, live and study for like a year." And so that's what he did. But yeah. Um, so, oh, you went to Dogo Onsen? Yeah, Dogo Onsen has been under the construction for seven years, I think. Five or 7 years. And then I actually did a live streaming on a Facebook for Ehime Prefecture last year, the end of last year. And at that time, they said that it's still covered with like a panel thing. And then you can actually go into the onsen, the hot spring, but you have to go through like a back door and stuff. And I think they say that the construction ends in 2024, so we have like 2 more years. It's crazy. It's because like the building is too old, and then as you know, Japan is the seismic country ever. So we kind of have to strengthen old buildings just in case, but I saw a video from Only in Japan about Dogo Onsen. Ooh, okay. Only in Japan. Like I know the channel. I don't think I know that person. Yeah, I don't think I know that person in person. Uh, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go back a little bit. I could do pet streams. I might. Actually, I did one video on a Patreon long time ago, because I vlog every day on Patreon, and so there's like early on when I just started uploading a video every day, and then somebody asked me to introduce all my pets, so I did that. Yeah, that was pretty fun, but um, dogs and cats don't do much. So but yeah, that was fun. John. Okay, I don't think I know that guy. Yeah. What's his name? I did a collaboration with Greg before. What's his channel? I forgot his channel's name. But yeah. Okay. All right. So, are you guys ready for the article? I like where I'm from. Yep. Thanks. Yep. That's it. Okay. I can go like this, right? Okay. So today, I wanted to talk about is that where is the article? Oh, okay. So this article is a little bit old. This was from December 11th, 2021. So a couple months old, but still it makes my point, I think, hopefully. Okay. So, do you guys know 日本でパワハラ新法ができたんだろうしかもだろう That's very condescending. I know like you don't mean that way. But anyway, so this is about NHK. I don't want to be in trouble with them because like NHK is the most powerful TV stations in Japan. But I'm not saying like, I'm not saying anything about them. I'm just talking about the facts, okay? I'm not playing any personal opinions here. But anyway, so there is a channel called NHK. What does it stand for? I have no idea. But there's like there are two channels, and one is for little kids. So they have from morning to night they have kids shows and whatnot, and then the other one is kind of like news channel. So everything is like very very serious and strict on NHK, and then there's no commercial as well. And so how they run the program is that we pay monthly fee. We have to pay around 20 to 25 bucks each month, and that's a mandatory. My Japanese voice is so deep. That's very interesting. That's interesting. Okay. 日本放送協会, thanks. NHK stands for 日本放送協会. I had no idea. Anyway, so under the Japanese law, everyone, こんばんは, everyone has to pay that fee. And the reason why I'm talking about this now is that this is not new to anyone. But the reason why I'm talking about this now is that I came across a Twitter post. It was like an array of posts from one person, and she's Japanese. And basically, she is mad at NHK. And the reason why for this is that her father passed away a couple months ago, maybe 6 months ago or something. And they were living separately. And so the place that her father used to live in was vacant, and probably he wasn't like rented out space or anything like that. So the family declared his death, and everything's taken care of, and then the power is cut, and then just the space is empty, and it's just there. The apartment is just there. Okay, and then 6 months later, the daughter realized that NHK has been taking the monthly fee from his account. Regardless of his death. And so the daughter decided to call up NHK, but of course they don't answer. And so she called so many times, and then finally she got in touch with the staff. And so she explained the situation, the fact that her dad passed away like long time ago, and then so they want to stop. Yeah, it's really terrible. And they wanted to stop the payment. And then the staff was like, okay, fine, yeah, we can do that, right? But she was like, that's it? Like, we have been paying the fee that we didn't have to pay. And then the staff was like, what? Like, do you want a refund? We can't refund. Yeah, they can't refund. And then the staff was like so mean to her, and she was like, oh, you need this and this and this and this and this certification to in order to get the refund. And then the tweet ended when with something like she's like, right now she's at the city hall to get the residential certificate or something, but you cannot get the residential certificate for the person who have passed away. And so it was like so many legal documents going like back and forth, and it was like it was just a disaster. And but her tweet got very viral, and everyone is basically like have the similar experiences, and everyone is saying that it's impossible to get the refund. And then also, and so there are so recently young people, including myself, don't really watch TV, right? But even if you don't watch NHK, I don't watch NHK, but even if you don't watch NHK, if you own a TV in your house, then you have to pay that money. And so someone made some company, TV maker, made a special TV that doesn't get the signal from NHK, so you can't not watch NHK. And so there was like a lawsuit because NHK want the money, right? And then like NHK say like it's under the under Japanese law, blah blah blah. But the counter argument for that was that we cannot watch it. We don't want to pay for something that we can't watch. But anyway, so the article says women with signal block TV loses appeal, contesting her obligation to pay NHK fees. So basically it says that, okay, so you have to pay 24,800 yen per year. That's about $248 per year. And yeah, and then so the reason why this is such a big deal is that the money itself is not that much, okay? But here comes, while it doesn't seem like a huge amount, this fee and the people who have come to collect it, often with aggressive methods, have led to fierce opposition to what many consider a great overreach power by the NHK. That $20 a month, yeah, something like that. So the amount is not that bad, and of course it's it's the law, so we have to pay that fee. But people come at the door, and there are so many stories. Like if you just type in aggressive NHK people on internet, you could probably see many stories and whatnot. But there's like other tweets saying that the person who come at the door to collect the money, and yes, somebody said that. Sorry, that comment is already gone. But somebody said that then you shouldn't own a TV. But people, the NHK people, actually come at the door and then ring the doorbell. You answer, and then they're like, "Oh, we need to come inside. We need to come inside, see and look around, and make sure you don't have a TV." It's that bad. You can't just say to them at the entrance, and they're like, "Oh, we don't own a TV." But they make themselves like they forcefully come into the house, and then they look around. And so there was a story from a mother, and she was out work or something, and then her children were only ones who were at home. And what about monitors? Like if they turn it on and it doesn't show any TVs, like TV programs whatsoever, and then you should be fine. But if you have a monitor that has some sort of like a cables, like if you just like buy a cable and then connect to the wall, and then that makes it possible to watch TV, and you have to pay for that. And then probably they would like check the monitor thoroughly because they want that money. And so anyway, so at the time that the NHK guys came at the door, they were only children. And I think the oldest daughter was like a high school student or something, but like grown up adult, like male, start yelling at the little girl, and that even though she said that like there was no parents at home, and the NHK guy was like, it's like only 2,000 yen per month, right? And like you can pay for that. And then she got so scared, and then she's paid that money with her like from her wallet, and so it's that bad. And but there's a upside for this story as well, that apparently so many people have complained. And oh, this is the thing. So don't want yeah. Okay, if you live in Indonesia, you're fine. But anyway, so let's say they broke in to your house and they tried to look for the TV, and you got mad and you did something to them, you hurt them, and then you have to go to jail. You are only protecting your family and protecting the house from the intruder because they don't have the right to come inside without the consent, right? But in Japan, under Japanese law, this is something like very weird. If there's a burglar or something at the door, and if you are trying to stop them from hurting yourself, then that's a self-defense. However, if you caught a thief inside a house, and then the thief is trying to, run away or something, you cannot go after them to catch them. If you do that, and if the thief got hurt or maybe got killed or something, and you are going to jail. And so you have to be very, very careful, even if it was inside your house and there's like intruder. Basically, you can't really do anything. Like you can stop them from hurting you. But basically, only thing you can do is to keep the like physical distance from them. So if they are coming towards you, you can push it, like push it away. But that's pretty much it. You can't catch them, you can hurt them, nothing. But yeah, the law is very complex. But as far as I know, like in America, if there's an intruder in your house, and in some states, now I'm not saying about all of the states, but some states, you can shoot them to death. And that's basically, it's still, self-defense. You might have to go through the trial, but like it's pretty much the, self-defense. So you have to be careful with Japanese law. And so sometimes in your mind, you think that it's legal, like you're just protecting yourself. But sometimes that you suddenly become the criminal. I'm gonna catch up some comments though. So many comments. Europe is like Japan. You can't harm someone for trespassing. Oh, okay. Interesting. Wow. Okay, but anyway, so I guess a lot of Japanese people have complained about how NHK guys approach to each home, and so NHK will be stopping the whole, coming at the door to check up on the TVs and stuff like that from October 2023. Yeah, so they will officially end the whole system. But I was surprised that they were still doing that. They would even come to your office. Yeah. I actually had a monitor in the office, so I was a little bit ready for them to come in. And but I haven't, like, I don't know. There's a outlet for TV on the wall in my office as well. And so yeah, if I got a cable, maybe I could get the TV signal. Yeah, so if they found the monitor, and then they would have said something, but they didn't come, and then I got rid of the monitor, so it's fine. Somebody said a good question. Ask a good question. Can you ignore the NHK guys and don't open the door? Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. But if they know that you were like there in the house and then not answering, and then they might say, like, they might start yelling, or you know, they might call you names. I don't know. um, so. But yeah, anyway, so it's not only, and then I just remember the story of my brother, and I'm not gonna say exactly where. I'm not gonna say exactly where, the name of the place. However, the Japanese school. So I'm going back to Japanese school story. I don't think I share this story yet, but something regarding to that, like, like law issues. So this is actually happened, okay, to my family. So this is legit. Okay, so a couple years back, my youngest brother was still in high school, and so it's a high school story, and he goes to Japanese high school, and his money got stolen. And well, it's kind of his fault that he had a lot of money in his wallet, but he had a reason, you know. So it wasn't just like every day he had that much money, but it was just like happened. He just happened to have that money on that day. And he belonged to some sort of like sport club. And after the club activity, he yeah, my cat is calling. No, she's talking to my brother. Yeah, she always talks to my brother, so yeah, she's fine. But anyway, so after club activity, he realized that his money was gone. Wallet was there, but money was gone. And so he came back and then talked to his parents, and then they call the school. Maybe next day, I don't know, or I don't really know. But in Japan, there's a rule that within school, we cannot find who did it. There's a weird rule. So there was a time, long time ago, I think it was in elementary school, that some kid got the sewing needle. And then the kid put the needle into someone's bread during lunchtime, and nobody got hurt, but that became a huge problem, of course. But school cannot find, are not, more like schools are not allowed to find who did it. It's weird, right? And I understand that since that's a little kid, so school are not allowed to openly, like publicly announce who did it. But it's not just that. And so a similar thing happened to my brother. And because it happened it happened within such a small group of people in the same sport club team, there are some witnesses, and it wasn't the first time that kind of thing happened. And so everyone kind of knew who did it. And then my parents actually had a meeting with the suspect's mom and himself, and basically what he's saying is all, how can I say, doesn't match up, you know what I mean? And so he's clearly hiding something. And his mother also doesn't seem to, try to protect her son or anything like that. She just like listens. Like it looks like she kind of knows about it, or this is not his first time, you know? And she might have gotten into the similar problems before. And of course, the cops got involved. And they came to school, and then they interviewed my brother, and they interviewed the suspect, and they did the whole investigation, took the fingerprints off of the wallet, blah blah blah. But basically, even the cops would be like, yeah, this happened in the school premises, so we cannot do anything. We did everything we did, like you guys asked for. Like we took the statement, we got the fingerprints. We didn't find any fingerprints, but and everything is just up to school. And the school goes, well, we're just school. We're not law enforcement, so everything is up to the cops. What? you know? And anyway, so we fought like how many? Like almost like 6 months, I think. But anyway, nobody got caught, and we didn't get the money back. And so yeah. And yeah, this is not like a rare story or anything. It just happened in like so many times in so many schools. And so in my opinion, like school has to be something like somewhere that teaches like what's wrong and what's right, and if you did something wrong you have to pay for it, right? But school basically protect something as someone who did something bad. And I was like, ugh. Like when I was in Hawaii, the cops come to school maybe like once a week or twice a week. And I know like I see always like somebody got caught by the cops, and then like they are like talking to the cop outside of like right outside of school and stuff. That's like a very normal thing, but anyway, yeah. I'm gonna catch up on some comments though. Sounds like no one wanted to deal with the problem. Yeah, it was so crazy. So my mom basically got so pissed off. So I think the principal, a vice principal, and then the coach, and then homeroom teacher, 4 teachers from the school came to my house, and then they had like a 30 minutes, 40-minute conversation, but just, yeah, it didn't go anywhere. It was just like waste of time. The story and legal system explained why schools are a great set piece for so many anime and games. What does that mean? I don't get it. Is there no CCTV camera in school? You mean like an IP camera, surveillance camera? No, I don't think so. I think there was like 1 or 2, and then they checked, but they didn't see anything. I think. Yeah. Oh, I passed 50. Wow. Sorry. I never passed like 50 viewership. Yay. I'm gonna reach to the 100 sometime. But I don't know if I can say this though. Well, I'm not saying which school, so it's fine, I think. Speaking of camera, I've heard that there was a camera attached to the girls' bathroom in a local high school here. And seems like one of the teachers did it. It's just like rumor, okay? Just rumor. And woohoo, 50. And then school decided to conceal that information. How crazy is that? So, yeah, Japanese school. What? You look like 50. I'm not 50. I'm talking about viewers. I mean, how many games and anime use schools for their stories? I don't play games or watch anime, so I'm not really sure. Comes out so 2 times a week. You went to a bad school. Okay, it's Hawaii. Okay, it's Hawaii. Uh, I don't know. I never been to. Like I went to high school in Hawaii, and then I went to a what is it? I went to university in mainland, and so I don't know. Like people who live in Hawaii says like mainland people are very cold and like aloof, but I didn't feel that way. Maybe a little bit racist, but that's it. And but Hawaii, yeah. I don't know. I don't think this is something that I should like say on the internet. But yeah, Hawaii itself is not that like great city in a way, I think. Daytime that's fine, but nighttime. Let's see. Good morning from Seattle. Good morning. Let's see. I'm gonna go back a bit. If you have any questions, I can answer them. I don't think we have that much time. We have like 10 more minutes, so if you have any questions. Could it be to prevent acts of bullying against the perpetrators? Yeah, I think so. I think so. But also schools don't do anything about bullying either. The bullying in Japan is a little bit different from bullying in the States, I think. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, but nowadays like there are many kids who don't go to school. Maybe because of bullying. Oh, question. When and how difficult question. When and how do you think those laws will change? It won't change. It's Japan. It won't change. Japan doesn't like anything will be changing. We want to stay the same. That's Japan. It's good and bad. It's good that it's stable, right? And it's bad that it won't get better. So if NHK knocks on the door and you don't let them in, can you call the police if they try to force their way in? I think so. Yeah, I think if you can prove to the cops that the NHK people are forcing like forcing their way in, then you can call the cops right away, and then you can like if you can prove that there is like a dent in the door where they kicked or something like that, and then that's fine. But it seems like I've even heard somewhere that like like legit apartment, you have to buzz yourself in and you have to push the room number, and then the person that you are calling to has to let them in, like buzz in, you know. Somehow NHK people have a way to go past that and then suddenly show up at the door. Yeah, that's scary. I'm not sure though. Like, I think I've heard of it somewhere. What about online harassment? Is there any law? Yeah, that's a good question. That is a very good question. It's actually because like Japan is not really a lawsuit country, because hiring a lawyer is very expensive, and also Japanese people don't really like conflict, right? And so especially for online like bullying and whatnot, it hasn't been taken care of. But there was a one, have you guys seen Terrace House? Yeah, so after that girl, like he was doing some sort of fighting thing. Yeah, Hannah, her name is Hannah, I think. After she killed herself because of the cyberbullying, um, her mom decided to you know find out basically who did it, and I think they found a couple of people, and then among them one person got into a trial, and then he was guilty, but guess how much he has to pay as fine? I don't exactly remember the number, like exact number, but yeah, I know. Like I kind of started liking Terrace House, and then that incident happened, and everything got shut down. But basically, the court admit that the person caused the girl's death, yet he only had to pay like 5,000 yen, like $50 or something, as a fine. Yeah. So, and since then, especially a lot of like influencers or actors are trying to collect all the like haters comment, and especially like really bad ones, like you should kill yourself or something like that, or ugly or something. But I don't know. They're trying because like they want to, I think it's not like they want money, but they're trying to do that. They're trying to sue those people to stop them from hurting more people who doesn't have the resources to sue them, I think. If NHK can do this, legal debt collector will be even worse. Surprisingly, no. Well, if you borrow money from like Yakuza or something, then probably you're dead. But if you're living like a normal life, you don't encounter with them, right? And like regular places, like if you borrow money from bank or from the place that you see commercial on TV, basically, then yeah, you get phone calls, but that's pretty much it. And I think there is a statute of limitation for that as well. And so I think like if you don't pay them back in like next 10 years or something, and you no longer have debt. I'm not sure, but there is some like law around that, I think. Yeah, 5,000 yen for killing someone. Not like, physically killing that person, but he basically wrote something that's so hurtful that might have pushed her over the edge, and ended up her killing herself. So how long did I study in Japan, in Hawaii? 10 months. 10 months, 10 months. That's my first time living abroad. I was in high school. Remember to leave a like, mates. Thanks. Claudio. Thanks. Give me likes. Give me likes. I got 32 likes now. Oh, 33. I do that stuff now. 34. Here we go. What people say on Twitter is too dangerous. Yeah, Twitter and TikTok. Twitter and TikTok. Those are like every social media has some level of anonymousness. Is that a word? So people can leave comments onto somebody's post anonymously, and that makes them feel safe to say anything, right? But Twitter and TikTok, those are the like worst, I think. Especially Japanese people. So Japanese people are very nice, and Japanese people are somewhat coward, so they cannot say anything hurtful face to face. But it means that it's not they're nice. They are, I think we talked about this before, but they are basically piling up all the negativity inside them, and then they go full on attack mode at some level. And if the person does it like verbally, and that might be better, and especially towards that specific person that they have been kind of mad at, and it'll be just a fight, right? But some people would just go online, and then they have like a accounts, and ooh, yay, more likes than viewers. I don't know, that's good or bad. But anyway, and so they use that, and there are so many people who have like multiple accounts just for that. And Japanese people want to hide. So especially that's like Japanese personality, I would say, like not culture, like personality, characteristics. Yeah. So try to go back. How many? Oh, we have like 2 more minutes. Oh my god. Time flies. When we will hang out with Norm. Actually, was it Norm's live streaming? I don't know. I don't remember. But he was saying that he was doing live streaming the other day, I think. I think so. Or maybe other video, I have no idea. But anyway, there were like a couple of people asking him as well, like, when are you going to visit Sherry in Matsuyama? Like, yeah. Well, actually, we had some plans. We had some plans, but it didn't work out. We had a couple of plans to meet up, but every time something happens, and yeah, it's being pushed back and then pushed back again and then pushed back, and then now we don't have plans. So hopefully sometime soon. But I run a school and I interact with kids, so I really can't catch COVID, or even if I don't catch COVID, or like get the PCR test just in case. But the fact, like, I've been out in and out of the city and meeting people who go all over Japan, and that doesn't give me a good feedback from the parents. Anyway, okay, So it's been 15 minutes. So one more question. Last one. Last one. Ah, I got a really good one. Okay. Arif. Okay, this is the last one. 新しい YouTube はいつアップロードされますか? So, when is the next YouTube video? Pretty soon. I'm actually editing it. I'm like halfway through editing it. And it's something to do with Japanese language. JLPT. Yeah. And I've been asking around on Twitter and Instagram as well, right? I'm trying to figure out something to do with Jap, because like I've been asked so many times over the years, like, will you be teaching Japanese? You know. So I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. So yeah. Ah, Patrick, hey. Thanks for answering my questions related to JLPJ last night on Instagram. No worries. Thank you for, answering my question. I think you answered my question first, so thanks for that. Alrighty. Shocking for what? Anyway, so that concludes today's session. Next week, I'm trying to live stream from my office, so it might be not as late as 11. I thought there was like an arm thing right here, and I was like too far, and I fell. So next week it might start from like 10:30. Yeah. So hopefully you will be around at 10:30 as well. Okay, so I'm going to see you guys next week then, and then I will upload sometime the next video, the JLPT video, sometime soon, sometime next week. So look forward to it. Look forward to it. All right, so I will see you guys next week. Bye. Bye 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 bye.